So many Japanese learners are victims of the same system. Textbooks, language apps, Japanese teachers, easy Japanese listening practice type of podcast. Almost everyone and everything out there is teaching you robotic version of the language. I think it's a real problem because it doesn't just make your Japanese sound stiff, it takes away your ability to connect with Japanese people on a human level as friends. So in this video, we're gonna go through 4 signs that your Japanese is robotic and exactly what to do, how to fix them. So just don't feel bad even if all 4 applies to you, because I'm giving it a fix. The first step to solve any problems is to acknowledge where we at right now, so we know what to work on. So by the end of this video, you get the total clarity of what's holding you back from sounding like a native in Japanese. So the first time your Japanese sounds robotic is you only speak formal Japanese. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you because I don't want to sugarcoat. I don't want to give you any like BS or false expectations about Japanese language or culture. Speaking only formal Japanese makes you boring. Because what is formal Japanese? There's a word, formal, polite. So it's not a default language, it's the polite version of the language. So speaking only formal Japanese is like you're in a business mode, or stranger mode, or outsider mode all the time. All the time. You know, so many Japanese learners, especially beginners, really overthink about this. Really overthink about this. They have this mindset where they think they have to speak formal Japanese all the time. They have to be polite. They have to be respectful. Otherwise, I just become a weird, ignorant, rude foreigner. I don't want to be like that. But you know what? Japanese people don't give a fuck about that. To most Japanese people, it's actually more wholesome. More wholesome to like blend in some casual speech from the first interaction. Because we know how hard Japanese language is. We know. We are not expecting foreigners to speak perfect formal Japanese. Or we don't even get offended by foreigners. Average Japanese person doesn't get offended by foreigners who speak casual Japanese. At least they're trying. It's way easier for us to like open up because casual Japanese is a language for friends, girlfriend, boyfriends, family, insiders. So, you know, it activates our script, our cognitive script in our brain. Like it sends us a signal that, okay, so this situation is where the things are casual, so I can be more chill. Like I can open up. I don't have to feel pressured. I don't have to like put this, like make this invisible wall between me and the person. So what I'm saying is most Japanese people find it hard to open up when somebody only speaks formal Japanese to them. Like no matter how close you get with the person, as long as there's this formal Japanese barrier, we always feel like there's something we can't see. There's something. So as a human being, casual Japanese is way more important and gives you way more like good sides of Japan, the real sides of Japan, the real side of Japanese people. And you learn way more. You learn the natural language way more. Because Japanese people also will talk to you in casual Japanese, right? When you speak casual Japanese to them, they will probably talk to you in casual Japanese and you learn more. You learn more. But when you only speak formal Japanese, they'll probably keep talking to you in formal Japanese. And I'm not trying to insult you or anything, but if your language has these 3 signs that I'm about to introduce, it gets worse. They will probably feel awkward in the interaction because they are not really used to that kind of language. So the solution here is learn casual Japanese. Okay? Learn casual Japanese. Subscribe to my channel. I'm probably only one of the few creators or teachers who are teaching casual Japanese specifically on the internet. So subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos like Casual Japanese Podcast where I speak real human casual Japanese. So you can learn the real human casual Japanese. And there's a tip when you watch my podcast or the immersion or vlogs where I speak real Japanese. Pay close attention to how the endings are different. If you have never studied casual Japanese, I mean, I think there's a low chance because you probably been following me for a while. Too long casual Japanese, right? So I think you already know the basics of casual Japanese, but if you're new, discovering this whole concept, casual Japanese might feel like a whole different language. Completely different language. But it's not. It's mostly the ending. So just pay attention to the ending first. Just doing that gets you pretty far. So at first, just focus on that. Like learn what kind of endings I use, ending particles, masculine speech, that kind of stuff. Let's move on. The second sign that your Japanese is robotic is you say every subject and particle. For example, let's take a look at this sentence. たけしはサッカーが好きです. You probably learned this kind of sentence in textbook or Duolingo or, from other Japanese teachers, right? But this sentence makes you stiff and it makes you sound like you just came straight out of JOPT listening CD. Now, I might be wrong, but I feel like 99% of Japanese learning materials out there don't really go deep into this. But the Japanese person who's lived in this language for 22 years and actually reverse engineered the native speech, this is one of the most important things to learn to speak Japanese like a human. So now I teach you how. The solution is only keep the subject when the context isn't clear or you want to emphasize it. If you're bringing something up out of nowhere, let's say we are talking about Japanese language right now. Yeah, Japanese language is very hard. 日本語って難しいね。そうだね。And all of a sudden you want to start talking about our mutual friend. That's when you want to use subject. But after that, you don't need that because we already set the topic of the conversation. Okay? And I say keep the subject when we emphasize it. What I mean by this is, so for example, I'm saying, I don't like soccer. I don't like soccer. But you like soccer. In that kind of situation, you say, 俺はサッカー好き instead of サッカー好き because you want to make a contrast your opinion with my opinion, right? Because it's natural to do that as a human being. I don't like soccer. Oh, really? I like soccer though. We do this in English. So when you want to do something like that, keep the subject. And for particles, you can drop these 4 particles. wa, wo, ga, ni. And ni is except for time expressions like 2月, 3月, like month or year, or 3時, like clock times. So other than that, you can drop it. So in the example sentence I showed you, たけしはサッカーが好きです. Unless we want to emphasize たけし, we can say たけしサッカー好き. たけしサッカー好き. But let's say we want to emphasize サッカー. He likes soccer, not baseball, not rugby, not martial arts. Soccer. We want to emphasize soccer. In that case, you can keep が. たけしはサッカーが好き. たけしはサッカーが好き. In English, when we want to emphasize something, we leave accent on the word that we want to emphasize, right? But in Japanese, when we want to emphasize something, we intentionally keep the particle that comes after the word that we want to emphasize. So another example is, let's say you want to emphasize Takeshi even more than just saying Takeshi サッカー好き. You can just say Takeshi はサッカーが好き. Takeshi はサッカーが好き. We don't like soccer that much, but Takeshi はサッカーが好き. We can make a contrast. And it's funny, right? Just one tiny character, just one character changes the whole nuance of the sentence. Takeshi はサッカーが好き. It sounds like Takeshi is the only one who likes soccer here. So only keep the subject when the context isn't clear or you want to emphasize it. If the context is clear or there's no need to emphasize the subject, drop it. And for particles, normally drop these particles wa, wo, ga, ni, and ni is except for time expressions. Alright, let's move on. So the next sign your Japanese is robotic is you pronounce every single sound in Japanese. A lot of Japanese learners say something like している, している, している. What is している? している is a progressive form of する. right? Doing. している is doing. But in real Japanese, in most cases in real life, we drop this I before ru. So we say してる, してる, してる. There's not a clear study on this, but from my experience of living in Japan, I feel like 99, maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe 90% of Japanese people don't say the full version of progressive form. And it applies to past progressive form too, and even negative form, negative progressive, and past negative progressive. So basically any progressive form. So for example, していた, we don't say していた, we say してた. Okay? してた. And another one is, what is the negative progressive form of する? していなかった, していなかった. So how do we say it like a native? してなかった, してなかった. Okay? How about negative progressive? していない, right? So how do you say like a native? してない. Nice. Pronouncing the correct full version of progressive form makes you sound like you're reading a newspaper or giving a school speech. So to fix this, I already gave you the solution, but remember to drop the I in the progressive form. This is the biggest one. This makes a huge difference in how you speak, in how you sound. Because progressive form, we use this all the time, right? It's not just している, していない. We use progressive form other verbs too, like 食べている, 飲んでいる. You know, we often want to talk about what's going on in the current situation, right? So there are just so many times that, you know, we have to use progressive form. So we say a lot, right? So that's why this tiny change, just fixing this progressive form problem, makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference. There are same patterns like this in other words too, but it's just gonna become endless if I explain everything in this video. So yeah, just doing this makes a huge difference. So I want to start implementing this to Japanese from today. And the fourth sign that your Japanese is robotic is you're using so incorrectly. I see this to so many of my students or my coaching clients. So to understand why this is a sign that your Japanese is robotic, we need to clarify this first. So is yeah, right? But you only use it only when you already know what the thing is. Like you already know what the person is talking about. Oh yeah, I completely understand. And there's another word that means yeah in Japanese. Where is it? Yeah, So also means yeah. But there's a clear difference. We use when we agree or we actively listen. Like nodding type of yeah. So guess what most Japanese learners do here? You might be doing this too. They use so to just show. They use so to just show. They use show to just show they're listening. Like yeah in English. Yeah. 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 They use so like this. But when you use so just to show listening, like yeah, like saying yeah in English, makes you sound arrogant. Makes you sound like you know everything about the world. You know everything about everything. So let's say we're on a Zoom session. I explain a certain, ending particle that you don't know. And while I'm explaining this, you say so. And it makes me think, oh, so you already know what I'm talking about? That's what I mean. So the fix here is only use so when you're agreeing or you're the shared understanding of what's being talked about with the other person. So for example, if you're talking about Japanese is hard, we already know the Japanese is hard, right? It's shared understanding. In this situation, it totally makes sense to use so. Because you know that Japanese is hard. You know how hard Japanese is. And I assume that like it's shared understanding. So use so like this, like when you totally agree, or when you share understanding with the other person that you're talking to. So if you just want to show that you're listening or you're following along, just use or not. And I said that is used for agreeing to earlier. Yes, you can use to show that you're agreeing. So then what's the point of using so? So is more like you're relating to the topic. Like, I know, right? So. You know, like, yeah. So. Yeah. Works. But so is more natural in the situation. So. I like so because when somebody says so, when somebody reacts with so to what I'm talking about, I get this kind of feeling of like being understood. You know, it feels good to be understood, right? So can create that kind of, okay, I'm understanding you kind of feeling. That's powerful, right? So use so to your advantage to, create close relationship or genuine friendships with Japanese people. And it's not manipulate tactic or anything. It's just natural language. So those are the 4 signs, 4 things making your Japanese robotic. But now you know exactly how to fix them. And if you want to make this path even easier and transform your Japanese to natural Japanese and become someone who can actually make friends and date effortlessly in Japan, I offer the transformation inside the dojo. I truly believe what I teach inside will cut your learning speed in half. Like you learn 2 times faster. That's massive. If that's what you want, click the link in the description. And right now, since it's summer vacation season, I'm offering 10% discount on every plan. If you've been thinking about joining the dojo, or if you feel like your Japanese has plateaued, maybe now is the best time to take a different action and try something different. With that said, don't miss out this chance. And there's also 1 spot left in my coaching program if you are interested in working with me one-on-one. So if you're serious and really want personal help and personalized plan and personal assignment, apply from the link in the description. If all of the signs that I introduced in this video apply to your Japanese, don't feel bad again, don't feel bad. Just fix it one by one. Change your speaking habit one by one. It can be pretty challenging to fix all of these all at once. So yeah, just do it one by one. And if you forget, always come back to this video. So leave a like and you can save this video. And it also helps my videos perform better, so win-win. And if any of this didn't apply to you, there is a high chance that your Japanese level is extremely high, or your Japanese is already natural. So that's amazing. And I would say you're lucky, or you've probably been learning Japanese from me, or you're the community members of the dojo. But anyways, that's it for today. I will keep helping you learn casual Japanese, master casual Japanese. So I'll see you in the next one. お疲れ。